Hello everybody, welcome back to Mohawk Motors. My name is Jason. I've got a little quick, did I get ripped off or did I get what I hope I got video for you this Friday. I've got here a 2003 2500 HD. I bought this truck primarily for the motor. I gave $1,000 for it. The guy had it listed for $1,400 and it had been for sale for months. He was very clear in his description. Good engine. The rest of the truck is pretty much smoked. It got parked because the transmission finally went out of it and because it's got a leaking fuel line. But I messaged him, asked if he would take $1,000 and he said yes. And then I asked, can I hear the engine running? He said there's no battery in it now, but here's a video of it when we parked it. Sounded okay in the video. He said it got parked about a year and a half or so ago. So things happen in that amount of time. But I'm gonna chuck a battery in this thing, check all the fluids, and we'll see if it's gonna be worth what I paid. I mean, really it's worth what I paid either way because it's got a ton of parts that I can use, and if I don't use them, I'll sell them. But we're gonna see if it's the engine that I need it to be, or if I'm gonna have to find another engine. All right, we're going quick and dirty on this thing because I wanna try to keep this a short video. We're gonna check the fluids. I checked this when I bought it. It's got oil in it, it's full. It smells like old oil, but not gassy. Doesn't look super dirty, so it's been changed at some point in its life. That's a good sign. Now, they did say the transmission was smoked. Let's see. Oh, is there even any fluid in it? Whew. Yeah, that smells like she's pretty much been on fire. So, I'm sure that transmission's no good. We have antifreeze. We do have coolant in it, and it's only a touch low, so that's good. The truck has brakes. That's a good sign. It does have brakes. I was able to use them to stop it when I rolled it here into the workshop. I'm gonna check the power steering fluid. Again, don't really need it, but, oh, that's empty. Oh yeah, there's no power steering fluid in this thing. No, she's bone dry. Well, good thing we don't plan on driving it, huh? We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about it leaking power steering fluid on the floor. Ka-ching! Let me chuck a battery in here real quick. Okay. All right, let's see here. Always remember, guys, positive first, then negative. Let's see, we gonna get any sparks? Nothing crazy. It does sound like the key's on. Okay, key's not on. Get this ground hooked up. Now, he did tell me this thing starts to leak fuel after it's been running for a second. So I'm gonna bet that there's a hole somewhere in the return line, but we're still gonna give it a shot and see what we get. I'm not super worried about that miss. I'd be willing to bet it's either a clogged up injector from sitting or a valve plug or something like that. I really only need the bottom end of this thing. I really only need the short block. And the important part of that short block is we've got good oil pressure and we're not clanging and banging. So, woohoo! Yeah, I'd say she's got a fuel leak. Wowee! Let's go ahead and shut that down. Goodness. She may just be missing because she has inadequate fuel pressure. But yes, that's all I needed. I just needed to hear that thing run and know that it runs. And again, it's not clanging, it's not banging. The oil pressure came right up to where I wanted to see it. So I'm happy. This thing's gonna be a good bottom end for that truck. And you'll find out more about what we're all gonna do to this engine as we get going and get into it. But that gives me what I needed to know to pull it out tomorrow and move on with this project. And in case you're wondering, like, man, Jason, you gambled $1,000 on a truck that you weren't able to hear run. That's not like you. You're right, it's not like me. Typically, I like to hear them run in person and know for sure that it is a good engine. But for $1,000, this truck was a can't lose for me. And here's why. It's got a full floating 14-bolt rear end. I don't need any more of those. I sell them for $450 as quickly as I can get my hands on them. So there's almost half my money back. This truck has a carpet in it. I think I can get it shampooed and get it clean enough that I'll be happy putting it into one of my trucks that I need a carpet for. The gauge cluster works, lights up. All the gauges do what they're supposed to do. I'll use that in the single cab. I've got a good set of driver's window switches and passenger window switches. And the passenger window switch has remote entry module in it. So that's valuable and useful to me. Climate control, HVAC, a good Core 4L80, a good NP263 transfer case, a good front differential. Like, there's a ton of parts in this thing that I can use even if the engine wasn't good. I'm gonna use the throttle pedal in the swap. I'm gonna need all of these air conditioning lines for the swap. I'm gonna need the hydro booster for another project I have here, the wire harness. So much of this thing will be used. For $1,000 it was a can't lose. So it was worth the gamble on not being able to hear it run. And like I said, the guy seemed like a solid dude and I trusted him. So it worked out, I'm happy with it. And yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna take this thing apart. You've seen me take them apart. You don't need to watch me take another one apart. So that's it for this one. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Until the next video, take care.